Hey guys, so in this video we'll be going through algebraic fractions, how to simplify these different types of expressions. So the first level we'll start with the basics, and then I'll give you guys some questions, have a go at them, and then I'll go through those questions and you can see whether you get it right or wrong, and then we'll just build up the level. Okay, and if these videos are helping you, please give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. It will really be helpful and I can just keep producing more content for you guys. So let's get straight to it. So the first one is saying simplify 4x squared minus 16x over 3x minus 12. So with all these things, with how you work these out, is you always want to try and factorize where first you want to see what's in common. So if we look at this, the top one, 4x squared minus 16x, I know that 4x is in common between here, right? So I can just take the 4x out. So if I take 4x out, something times 4x gives me 4x squared. Well, we know that's just going to be x. Minus something times 4x gives me minus 16x. We know that's going to be 4. So if you were to expand this bracket, you should get 4x squared minus 16x, right? Now over this 3x minus 12, let's factorize that. What's in common between 3x and minus 12? Well, the only thing I can take out is 3. So if I take 3 out, I'll be left with x minus 4. And if you do 3 times x, that's 3x. 3 times minus 4 minus 12. So that's me factorizing it. Now the simplifying bit, it's very simple. All you need to do is if you see anything on the top that's the same as the bottom, you can cut it out. So x minus 4 can go, x minus 4 can go. So then you're left with 4x over 3. That's your answer. Okay. Now if we go to the second one, so okay, before going to the second one, just look at this, take some notes first, see if you understand it. If not, just put things, write it down in the comments and I can answer that as well. But just make sure first you understand what I did here before going on to the second one. Okay, now the second one is slightly different because the factorizing is a different type of factorizing. So if you're not sure how to factorize these, I will put a link in the description below on the factorizing video for these kind of expression. Definitely watch those as well first before doing this. So to factorize the top one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my brackets here first, right, on the top and also on the bottom because they're both the same. Now on the top, I'm going to put x and x. And essentially, I want two numbers that I multiply gives me 20 and two numbers that I add gives me minus 9. So that's just going to be minus 5 and minus 4, right? And then on the bottom, I'm going to put x and x. And I want two numbers that multiply gives me minus 12 and two numbers that add gives me minus 1. So that's just going to be minus 4 and plus 3. So that's me factorizing it. Now to simplify it again, we see x minus 4 in common, x minus 4 in common. So then I'm just left with x minus 5 over x plus 3. That's my answer. Now, it just happened to be that I have x minus 1, x minus 1, both of these equations, but it could be x minus 6, it could be x minus 6, x plus 10, x plus 10, so it doesn't really matter. So if this is how you do it, what I would say is just take notes down on this first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys some questions to try out, have a go at them, pause the video, and play it back to see the answers. So if we get straight to this, so to factorize this, what you should have done is you should have taken 3x out. So if I take 3x out here, I'll be left with x minus 3. And then on the bottom, 5 is in common. So if I take 5 out, I'll have x plus 3. Oh, so actually the question should have been minus 3. My bad. Yeah, okay. So that should have been minus 15, yeah? Or else it's not going to cancel. So that's going to be minus 3. So now all we need to do, we can just cancel x minus 3 and x minus 3 out. So then I'm left with 3x over 5. So that is my bad. You should have got the, actually, you know what? Pause. Okay, so here are the questions. Have a go at them. Stop the video. Once you got it, play the video back and see if you got the answer right or wrong. So let's get straight to this. So what you should have had when you factorize this, the top one, you should have taken 3x out. So that would be x minus 3 over, take 5 out. So that should also be x minus 3. So that cancels. So you should have been left with 3x over 5. That's your answer. For the second one, if we factorize that into two brackets, and then we put the bottom one as well into two brackets. So you should have got x and x here. So two numbers you multiply gives you 45 and add gives you 14. That's just going to be 9 and 5. And then on the bottom, two numbers when you multiply gives you minus 35 and add gives you minus 2. That will give you minus 7 plus 5. So now what you do is just cancel this and this. So you should be left with x plus 9 over x minus 7. So that is your answer. So if you got that, well done. If not, check where you went wrong and make sure you kind of, well, you know where you went wrong. The next bit we're going to do now, we're going to go through something a bit more challenging in the expressions. So check these out. So in this question now, you can see it's a little bit more challenging because there's a bit more terms that now you have to go and factorize. So all you want to do here is, don't worry about the division and the fractions. What you want to first do is factorize everything, okay? So this 3x plus 6, let's factorize out. We can take 3 out. So we'll be left with x plus 2, right? Over, now this x minus 4, there's nothing I can do. That's already been factorized to this, to the base. So that's just going to stay the same. Keep the divide here. Now for this factorizing method, if you're not sure how to factorize this as well, I'll put another link in the description for factorizing part 2, because you need to know how to do that to be able to do this. So if you don't know how to factorize these expressions, go and watch that video first before coming here. So we'll get this into 2 brackets, and then that'll give us, so if we factorize this top one, that'll give us 2x plus 5 and x plus 2. And then this is going to be over, let's factorize the bottom, so we can take x out, and we'll be left with x minus 4. Right, because x times x is x squared, and then that's going to give me minus 4. Now, because we're dividing, if you remember, I'm not sure if you do, but when you divide a fraction, what do you guys think we normally need to do when we divide a fraction? We have to times it, right? But when we times it, we have to also flip. So this x bracket x minus 4 goes on the top, over, now all of this that was on the top now comes to the bottom. So that's what happens when you divide a fraction, right? So now we're going to simplify. So when we simplify this, let's see what we can cut out. So what we can do is, so this x minus 1, x minus 4 also can cut out. So when you times fractions as well, just so that you know, you can also cut out diagonally and top and bottom if they're the same, okay? So if you look at x minus 4, x minus 4 diagonally and they're the same, you can cut it out. Now this x plus 2, I can cut out with x plus 2 because they're the same diagonally. So then all I'm left with is 3 times x, which is 3x, over 2x plus 5. That's it. I can't do anything else. So that's how you simplify it. So I'm going to give you another question here. Have a go at this. Stop the video and then play it back again and see if you get it right. So here's a question here. Try have a go and see how you get on. Right, so let's go straight into this. So we're going to factorize everything before doing any cutting or dividing, okay? So if we look at 2x minus 2, let's take 2 out. So if I take 2 out, I'll be left with x minus 1. Over x plus 5 stays the same because there's nothing I can do. Keep the division as it is for now. Now let's factorize this. So we'll get this into 2 brackets. So that will give me x minus, an x here as well, by the way. So that's going to give me minus 1 and minus 3. And on the bottom, if we factorize that, that should give me 2x plus 3 and x plus 5. Okay, so that's us factorizing everything. Cool. So now what we're going to do, so we're going to write 2 bracket x minus 1 as it is, over x plus 5. Now remember, divide means what? Times, and then flip. So 2x plus 3 and x plus 5 goes on the top, over x minus 1, and then x minus 3 goes on the bottom. So now we can do our simplifying. So if we simplify this, we're going to look at diagonally. So x minus 1 can cut out with x minus 1. And then this x plus 5 can cut out with this x plus 5. There's nothing else I can cut. So all I'm going to be left with is 2 times 2x plus 3. So you can write it like this. Or if you want, you can expand it. Doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. Over x minus 3. And that should be your answer. So hopefully you've understood what to do and how to simplify it. So it's literally just factorizing. That's all it is, okay? And in the next one, what I'll do is show you how to solve algebraic fractions. So when I say solve, it just basically means find the value of x, okay? So if this video has helped you out, please give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And put it down in the comments, things that you want me to do, topics that you would like to see, and I can get to that. Until the next one, I'll see you guys on the next video.